I think
All
she
right.
stepped away.
Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and assembled company, welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe. And tonight, we are not only the World Storytelling Cafe, but we're part of Sparkleverse. There are people joining us from Sparkleverse, which is the sort of online version, online manifestation this year of Burning Man. So welcome anyone who's joining us from there. And I'm just trying to do all sorts of clever stuff with my computer at the moment because I can't. I'm trying to do all this on my phone. So while I'm doing that, our first young teller is from Aberdeenshire in Scotland. Elsa Dixon, how are you feeling this morning? Or well, it's this morning if you're in certain parts, or early afternoon if you're in the USA. It's late afternoon here in Europe. Elsa, over to you.
Grand. I was just gonna come and watch everybody else today. It's been a bit of a busy week, so give me a second. Okie dokie. Okay.
Okay, this is
I'm okay. Hello everybody.
Progress.
Hold on, let me just mute myself.
Hey, Elsa.
Yeah.
Just for future reference, if they catch you on the spot, you can always just play the harp for a few minutes while you're thinking.
Good shot. It's downstairs in its case. It's okay. I'm thinking. I have a plan. Do I start now? I don't know what I'm doing.
Please do. It's typical of a week when we have audience from two festivals that we have that no one has come from. All of our princesses from India appear to have abandoned us, but never mind, they will be here. I'm sure. So Elsa, do you have you've got 1,000 stories in your head? Give us a story.
I have a lot of stories in my head. It's a wonderful place to be. And I'm gonna share with you an old story. This is one of my favorite stories, and it begins, like so many stories begin, with a couple that fell in love. And oh, they loved each other so much, and they lived down in the borders of Scotland, and they spent a long time courting each other, and then they got married, and then they settled down in a wee croft, and then they worked the land together for years and years and years. But their life wasn't quite complete because they never managed to have a baby. And it took 5 years, 6 years before they began to grow desperate, and they tried and they tried and they tried until one night, one magical night, she managed to have a baby. And there they was. They had a wonderful child, and as soon as the child was in the mother's arms, it started to cry, and it cried and it cried and it cried, and it did not stop crying. Not for the first day, not for the first week, not for the first month. The baby was 6 months old, and it had not stopped crying. It cried all day and it cried all night, and the parents were about to go round the bend because the baby, it was a lovely thing. It was a beautiful wee baby, but its face, it was always screwed up and red, and there were tears running down it, and it would never shut up. And I don't know if you guys have kids or if you've looked after a baby for a long period of time. I'm quite lucky I haven't really, apart from the odd babysitting session, but it really does your head in. So you can imagine what it's like. 6 months with a screaming child. And eventually they gave in and they went to the doctor and they said, what's wrong with our baby? And the doctor checked it all over, but he couldn't find anything wrong with it, and he sent them home again, and the baby was still crying. And one day, the postman came up the path. And he was a kind man, this postman, and he didn't really have anything else to be doing today. He delivered all his parcels, delivered all his letters, and he said to the couple, well, I think you two need a break, so I'm going to look after the baby for you. I'm going to look after the baby for you today, and you can go off and go to the market, or you can go and take a walk and take some time for yourself. Okay. And the couple, that was grand by them. So away the couple went, and the postman settled down in the wee croft house with the baby, and the baby stopped crying. It just stopped. And the postman looked at it, and suddenly it wasn't a baby anymore. Suddenly, it was a wee old man standing up in its cot with its hand on the bars and a wee white beard trailing down to its knees. And it said, I want whiskey. I want whiskey now. And well, the postman had never seen anything quite like this before, but he went to the drinks cabinet and he got down the whiskey and he poured it into a wee baby spoon and he fed the strange creature the whiskey, and the wee baby creature wasn't having any of that, and he got the whiskey bottle from the postman and downed it in one big gulp, and he said, more, I want eggs, and I want apples, and I want more whiskey. And so the postman got him eggs, got him apples, got him more whiskey, and just sat there looking at the wee man sitting in the cot, just eating everything. What are you? Said the postman. Oh, what are you doing? I thought you were a baby, but you're not a baby. You really are stupid, said the wee man. I'm a Tinawa. I'm a changeling. Ah, said the postman. And they sat together for the rest of the day, and the wee baby eating and drinking all day, until eventually the couple came back home, and in a blink of an eye, the wee shriveled old manny baby was once again crying. A wee newly born baby once again. And the postman took the couple outside and he said, well, I don't think you've got a baby there. I might be wrong. I don't know much about babies. Don't know an awful lot about them, but I don't think that's a baby. I think that's a changeling. And a changeling is a creature that's been taken by the fairies. So they steal the babies, take them into fairyland, and put in a wee fairy creature in its place. And sometimes you can have a changeling for years and years and years and you never notice it. And your own baby, it's trapped in another realm and you can't get at it. But the postman, he knew a thing or two. And he said, okay, what you've got to do is you've got to go take this baby and you've got to go over to the cliff over there and you've got to tie the baby's feet and legs behind its back, and then you've got to throw it off a cliff. And then if it's a Tinawa, then it will disappear and go off to fairyland, and then you will be left with your own baby. Well, I don't know what you would think if somebody told you that you had to throw your baby off a cliff. I don't think I would have done it, personally, but I think 6 months of a screaming child had maybe done something to these two people, because they saw this as a perfectly reasonable thing to do, and they said, okay, it does make sense that this might be a Tinawa, because it hasn't stopped crying, and it might just work. So the very next day, they took the baby in their arms and they took some rope and they tied the baby's hands and feet behind the baby's back, and the wife was crying a wee bitty now, but she took the baby in her arms and they went to the edge of the cliff and they threw it off. And it tumbled and rolled down, down, down the cliff, and when it was almost at the bottom, it transformed back into the wee crabbit old man with his long, long beard that blew in the wind, and it was gone. It disappeared. And behind them, they heard a wail, a tiny wail of a baby that whimpered and cried and then faded away into nothing. And behind them was their own wee babby, was their own baby that they hadn't seen in 6 months. And they took it in their arms. And oh, it was the most beautiful thing they'd ever seen. And that is the story of the Tinawa. And I would recommend that you never, ever, ever try this at home, ever. Grant, somebody.
Elsa, that was fantastic. Thank you. And so we're going to go from Aberdeen in Scotland across to Erica in India. And there's and welcome everyone from Sparkleburst that has joined us tonight. Erica, you have a huge international audience tonight. You have people from all over America, from another festival called Sparkleburst that have joined us. And I've got to get this in now before everyone goes away. On Saturday at 8 o'clock UK time, there'll be a totally open mic, which has been hoping storytellers from America and from the World Storytelling Cafe camp, which we are on a virtual camp at the moment, will join us and tell some stories. So we might have some other tellers on, some people who come to listen. And Heather, what are you doing on Saturday night? You're going to come and tell us a story. You're going to tell the world a story.
On Saturday?
Yeah, it's not in the schedule yet. This is the Sparkleburst is a venture that has been just dropped on us from on high, so we're participating.
Okay, yeah, I was going to go to some things at Cape Clear, but I could come along to that as well. I could do
do everything. I don't normally do anything Saturday because of what's happening in Ireland, but this week is an exception. Anyway, right now we're going across to India. Erica, are you ready for a story for us?
Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you. Erica, would you care to tell us a story?
I live in the capital of India, and my story name is The Priceless Rippers. Once upon a time, in a little village, there lived a poor man whose dreams were to become rich and have a lot of money. But he tried every way to earn some money, but he didn't get any result. One day, when he was walking, his friend told him that in Delhi there lived a rich person who have a lot of money and named Ami Khusro. So the man was confused and said, he is the richest man all over the Delhi. But he said nothing and went away. Then he said, but he was not greedy, and he said, I think I should check that is he rich or not. So the next day he can't afford a horseback. So he walked, and he was so hungry, but he was so poor and don't have any food to eat. Then finally he reached to Delhi and then said, knock knock, is anybody there? So then a door would open. He thought that the rich man who wore beautiful clothes and will be so rich. But he wore normal clothes, but they were simple. So the Ami Khusro said, why are you here? what you want. You want anything, I can give you. Tell me what you want. So he said, can I walk in your house? I need some money. And I've tried every way, but I didn't get any result. So the man said, it's better you have to wait here for you. I have a better gift for you. You can wait here as long as you want. You will have a shelter and everything, food, like everything. And then Ami Khushro said, follow me. Then he reached to a room. It was just like his room, but he was happy that he had a comfortable bed. So he slept for a few minutes, and then when he woke up, he saw that the food was ready. The food was simple, but the food was so delicious. He said, oh my God, this food is so delicious. I loved it. I loved it. So then the Ami Khushro came and said to him, wait, I have one more surprise for you, but you can't wait here. You have to wait outside my house. So he said, oh, okay, I will wait outside your house, but please hurry because I have to go home now. So he went, but he have taken hours, and but the poor man was still standing patiently. But after hours, he was impatient and said, why is taking so many hours? I think it's time to go to my house. But the Ami Khushro said, stop! I have a gift for you. I can't leave you without empty-handed. So then he gave her 2 pair of slippers, and he then said, they are useful for you because there are some insects at the road which may bite you, or stones which can go inside your foot. So he wear those slippers and thanked to Ami Khushro. Then he went, and then somebody stopped him. Stop, you lucky man! You are coming from Ami Khushro's house. He is such a kind man, but actually he is poor like you, but he is very kind and try to do your best that you eat food and live happily. So the poor man said, yeah, he is such a kind man. He gave me food and a comfortable room for me to sleep. But when the man saw the slippers and said, oh, I want those slippers. Can you give me, please? I will give you this my horse and my all treasure. Just give me these slippers. So then the poor man gave him the slippers and took the greatest treasure ever. So the moral of the story is, if you think you are poor, so don't think that you are poor. It means, but you are lucky. Thank you. The end.
Thank you, Erica. And I tell you what, every week you tell longer and longer stories. And I'm really jealous because I can't remember stories that long anymore. So thank you. Another round of applause for Erica, I think. Fantastic. Now, this is the first week we've only ever had 2 young tellers. Now I'm just trying to look. Yasname's not here. Davija's not here. The Nigerians aren't here. Typical when we're, but that's how it goes in the wonderful world of virtual reality. You never know what's happening. People are having exams all over the world. Other things are happening. So Elsa, would you like to comment on Erica's story?
Yes, Erica, you told a really, really lovely story. I always love your stories, and you're getting better all the time. And I especially like how you start and end your stories. They're always really, really beautiful and a little bit poetic. They're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Erica, would you like to comment on Elsa's story?
Yes. Your stories are great, and I love those stories and I enjoy them.
Thank you. For those that are new to Tuesday night, we go every Tuesday. We have young tellers, and usually we have 4, 5, 6. We just happen to be a little thin on the ground tonight. They tell their stories, then we have the young people comment on each other's stories, then I go round and have the adults comment. So I'm going to Heather first. What have you got to say about everyone?
Oh, fantastic. I love the confidence that you both have, and especially Erica, because you're younger, and sometimes it could be a bit tricky being in front of lots of people, but you're just so confident. I just always just enjoy your stories so much. They're just and Elsa, that was great. We've all been in situations where we've suddenly been asked to tell a story, and it's a tricky one, but yeah, to have to get something in your mind, but you did really well. So fantastic. Thank you both.
And thank you. Usually it's my fault that people are put on the spot. So I'm looking round. Susan, we go down to South Africa for our next comment. What have you got to say to our 2 young tellers? Hopefully someone else will come soon, but if not.
Yeah, as usual, Erica, you are getting better every time. So much confidence, and you have such a beautiful and clear voice and lovely facial expressions. It's wonderful to listen to you. And Elsa, being on the spot is not easy. But you know what? I have a million questions for you about Scottish fairy tales, about kelpies and changelings and all those wonderful critters out there. And every time you tell a new story, and I want to ask you more things. So thank you so much for coming up with our changeling story with whiskey on top of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm going to break convention. I'm going to go down. I'm going to see if anyone from oh, there's Ed, who's now Ed. You kind of missed if you just joined us. Unfortunately, what normally Ed is responsible for us connecting up with Sparkleverse, and the so normally we have 5 or 6 young tellers on a Tuesday night, but you can't, with the internet, as you know, you can never predict who's going to come. There may be exams in one country. So Erica, are there exams in India at the moment? Do you think, Jasmine, Erica, are the older girls having exams? Do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't get in the way of school exams. So we've only had 2 young tellers up tonight. So where's Ed gone? I've lost him.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. You keep trying. The square keeps moving. Ed, would you like to, before we go any further, would you like to tell us a little bit more about Sparkleverse while you're here?
Yeah, sure. I should say that I have to nip off in about 5 minutes because I'm working on something with somebody. But yeah. So Sparkleverse. Have you seen the platform of Sparkleverse? I can show it to you a little bit. The host is disabled Sheenscape, but Sparkleverse is a kind of digital interpretation of Burning Man, which is one of the world's most fantabulous festivals. It's not even a festival. I guess it's a sort of act of collective imagination, a city people build in the desert, where 70,000 people come together and kind of reinvent all aspects of life. So everything is transient. So all these buildings pop up, which serve as home and as fantasy bars and crazy nightclubs and spaces of philosophizing and so on. And anyway, so Sparkleverse is a sort of digital version of this. We're super excited to have your storytellers connected through the Sparkleverse here. If I'm able to, I'm not sure if I'm able to do screen sharing, but if someone could enable me, but then I could show you what the platform looks like. And
yeah, Ali, are you able to help Ed with the screen sharing? Ali, are you there?
Not to worry, not to worry. If you could make me co-host, that'd be one way of allowing me to do that.
Yeah, I need Ali to do that.
All right.
Ali, are you there? That's like 2 seconds, Ed. Don't go away. I'm just going to.
Well, don't worry too much. I can pop in a bit later.
We're only up here. We're only here for a while because there's not much. We're a bit light tonight.
Okay.
Right. Ali, can you make Ed co-host so he can share a screen?
Okay.
Right. No one in the waiting room, is there? We've got none of our other young tellers.
All right. So I'll quickly say.
Okay. Yeah, you're co-host now.
Yeah. So this is the Sparkleverse, and as you can see, it's like an aerial view of a desert, and you can see all the camps arranged here. And if you zoom in, which you can do, you can sort of wander around, and I can say hello to these people. Yeah, hello, people, like this. And I get a little thing, so they can all see that. And if I want to chat with somebody, and this is quite good for storytelling, I can go to a fire barrel, and what that will do is it will bring up some video here, so I can video chat with anybody else who joins the fire barrel. Yeah, and then we can go into camps, and I'll show you where the storytelling camp is. I come around here. What's this? That's Ignite Gratitude with Mindfulness. Let's have a look over here. There's camp languages. There's people doing language stuff. And I think this is going to be the storytelling camp. World Storytelling Camp. And so the way I found you was that I clicked into this. Oh, World Storytelling Cafe. Fun. And I entered inside. And then I go inside the... I'm just going to press enter here and it'll let me inside. So then I go inside World Storytelling Camp. And it's quite mysteriously put together, rather beautiful. And down here we have the campfire. And that was how I came in here. And so I clicked on here and I entered, and I can enter now again because I'm going to come to the same place. And I will just come straight in. And so, yeah, so that's a little bit about how Sparkleverse works. And you can go around and you can kind of You can meet anyone around the world. So the URL is sparklever, like that, sparklever.se, which you can copy. And please, you're kind of inside it in a way now, but please, grab a ticket, and then you get a little code, and you can enter in, and then you can make friends from around the world and see lots of interesting art and other beautiful things.
Thank you for that, Ed. And no, wonderful. Thank you, Ali, for allowing that to happen. Marvelous. Keep an eye on in case we have any young tellers. Of course, tonight, as we're going international, hardly anyone turned up, but they might, but I'm not sure. Never mind. Okay, dear Ali, thank you.
Well, lovely seeing you, everybody.
Lovely. And Saturday night, 8 o'clock UK time, I'm invited. We're just going to do a Sparkleverse special. So anyone who wants to come and tell a story, 8 o'clock UK time on the World Storytelling Cafe. Susan, come and tell us a story on Saturday night, or whatever time of day that is for you in South Africa. Let's see how many different countries we can get on for Saturday night for Sparkleverse. I just think that would be great if we had a real world community.
That'd be incredible, yeah. Wonderful.
So Ed, thank you for coming on for explaining it all to us. Could you just put the URL up in the chat for
I have, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
I can't. Oh yes, yeah, I've got it. Sparkleverse, sparklever.se.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll get us. David, you trying to say something? You're muted.
I know. How'd you get in? No.
How much is a ticket? Yeah, tickets are free. Tickets are free, and so if you just go to that URL, sparklever.se, you can get a little ticket on Eventbrite. That's free, and then you can come in and
you just create. Do you just create your own login, don't you? It's
exactly
yeah. You register and then
yeah. You need to get a ticket on Eventbrite, which will then send you a little code, but it doesn't take long, and it's all free or donation based if you'd like to make a donation.
It's a bit like here.
I want to catch up with you in due course. Fantastic to see you, John. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ed, for popping in.
My pleasure.
And explaining it all to us. That's fantastic. Thank you.
My pleasure. Cool. See you soon.
Thank you. So, Mike Foolish. I see you've changed your name to Mike Foolish. What have you got to say to our young tellers?
They were great. I loved the grace with which Elsa responded to, "Oh no, I'm doing a story," and as always, Erica's story was top notch. I wondered, Erica, did you make that one up, or is it an existing story?
You're muted, Elsa.
Sorry, Erica.
Thank you.
Did you make it up? Did you write the story?
I write the story. And I enjoyed it.
It was really good, yeah. They both were. I loved the changeling story being a slightly different version than you normally hear. That was good too. And I'm done.
Okay, now, Bubba C, you're allowed to speak.
Erica, I remember the first time you told a story with us. You were very shy, and the story wasn't very long. But today, there was no shyness in you whatsoever. That's a good thing. And I love the way your story, you're developing your technique for telling stories. I love the growing confidence. I like the way you use your voice and your face and your pacing. I think that you're becoming a very exceptional storyteller. Don't stop. Thank you for your story today. Elsa.
Thank you, Babasi.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. Elsa, I think of you like family, so pardon me if I say, Elsa, my love. First of all, I know how it is to be put on the spot. And I thought you handled it so gracefully and wonderfully. And I suspect that two of my siblings are changelings. But that's another story. If you knew them, you would think so too. I love the way that your voice has a quality about it. I'm quite sure you could do the alphabet and mesmerize us all. One note. You should keep a harp near you always. I love it when you, with or without the harp, your stories are enchanting, engaging, entertaining, and informing, and I just love it. So once again, thank you very much for your storytelling, especially a story about changeling, because as I said before, I suspect two of my siblings are changelings. They're in their 60s now, but nonetheless, I think they're changelings.
My goodness. You don't look a day over 16, Babasi, and there you are with 60-year-old children. Marshmallow.
No, siblings.
Oh, God, no, your siblings, sorry.
Yes.
Not seedlings.
That's another story.
Okay. Marshmallow, welcome. We're not there. That's okay. David, have you got anything to say to our young tellers?
Well, no. Be na go or do amazing.
And we're with you there.
Thank you.
Who haven't I asked? Phil, I haven't asked you to express an opinion.
Yeah, fantastic. Two great stories. Thoroughly enjoyed them both. And,
It's great,
yeah,
isn't it? It doesn't matter that that we didn't have many people.
No, it's still worth rushing home from work for to get up here to listen to. Even if it was just one story, it'd be worth it. But Ailsa, I know what it's like to be put on the spot. I've been put on the spot myself. You did very, very well. Commend you.
Pulled out the hat.
That's a sign of a good storyteller, being able to pull a story out of your head and just go with it. Well done.
Thank you. I normally have a dozen ready to go, but it's been a heck of a week, and I was like, stories will be a break from being alone with my brain.
Well, but you handled it well. Mike, have you said anything yet? Or I thought you did, but it's that you've thrown me with your foolish tag. Right. Well, it's been wonderful having you here. It's been wonderful to be part of Sparkleburst. Coming up, we have Baden Prince on Friday, which will be fantastic. We've got our Sparkleburst, and Ali, I need to tell you about that. Put it in your schedule. Sparkleburst special on Saturday at 8 o'clock UK time, and Sunday 6 o'clock. We've got Hala from Palestine with her stories about food. So and Palestinian, and that's all being introduced by Lucy Wood. So and of course next Tuesday, more young international storytellers. So meanwhile, thank you all for coming, and wherever you are, good night, good afternoon, good evening, as the Beeger would say, and have a lovely week. Bye-bye.
And thank everybody for helping me celebrate the final day of my birth month celebration. This was fantastic.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Well,
I've been
thank-
celebrating all month long.
Thank you, Ali.
Thanks, Ali.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone.
To be
Thank you so much.
continued.
Yep, to continue.